walking up the ramp, walk into the hallway. I flash back to when I was a kid and with the action figures inside. Suddenly I had like a big lump in my throat. This is how it gets you.
Camera set, here we go, stand by.
And action.
Ryan is doing many unexpected things and taking characters in new directions.
The individual stories of these characters are elevated and made fresh and new.
That's what I love about Ryan's approach to the story. It's like a real journey of discovery.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 8.
First time shooting with Mark, first time shooting with Daisy. First time shooting a Star Wars movie, and we got some cool stuff. Sad like a dog whimper. Yeah, that's great.
Ryan's wonderful personality is all over this film.
Wow. There's too many of everybody. I misjudged this.
He has flaws in other areas. I just don't know about them.
There's the weird thing that happens when it's being built, and when you first show up on it, you're kind of overwhelmed by it all, and then you get into the nitty-gritty of working on it.
Ready, and action!
And naturally, that level of it goes away, and you find yourself just focused on making the scene work, getting the shots, and then once in a while you're taking a little break and sitting back and you look around. You get the holy crap moment again. Concentrated work split up by holy craps.
Cut it. Beautiful, Gwen. Very nice.
Hey everybody, we got some new Star Wars to break down, whole bunch more Luke Skywalker, some better shots of Snoke's ship, the Supremacy. So let's just go through this shot by shot. And even though Star Wars tickets aren't on sale right now, I'm doing ticket giveaways for like the other big movies that are coming out, so I'll just do that for Star Wars too. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. So a lot of the early behind the scenes in this is stuff that we've seen before. It's just them building the Falcon out. They always have a standing Falcon set on stage, but sometimes they'll modify it depending on the scenes that they want to film or the angles that they want to get. So presumably you'll just see different parts of the Falcon than you saw during Force Awakens. Like if you're going back to the same place, they always try to film it in new and interesting ways. But the interesting thing is that you see R2-D2 and C-3PO again in a Falcon interior shot. So at some point during the movie, they're all going to come together, even though, I don't really think this is too much like Empire, but in the Empire style of movie making in trilogies in the middle film, the characters sort of spread out further in the galaxy. So just remember that that's a big thread in this film, is that they're going to be splitting the teams. And you see that in some of this behind the scenes. Like you see Finn and Rose in their Resistance outfits here. This is probably as they're on their way to Canto Bight, the casino planet, when they're on their way to meet Benicio del Toro's character. But then right after that, you see them in First Order gear, looking like they're on some infiltration mission. This even looks a little bit like Benicio del Toro, but it's a little too blurry to confirm that. But I think the idea is that at some point they get caught, and that's how he winds up in his big standoff with Phasma that we saw in the last big trailer. But then in the background of this shot, you see Rey standing in what looks like a scene with Poe's character, so at some point they meet back up, either they're caught, maybe this is when they're on Snoke's ship. This is the big wide shot of that. So this looks like the big chamber scene that we keep seeing in that last trailer, where Snoke is having that conversation with her about finding her, seeing the potential in her, the something special, embrace your destiny, and then just totally lays the power of the Force on her. So either somebody is going to have to help her out in this, like Luke is going to have to get his shit together and help her out, or it's going to be some big triumph for her as she overpowers him. But I don't know that we're quite there yet. Even though we keep talking about this in relation to the narrative of the original trilogy, in the middle film, Luke lost that fight to Vader, so I don't think that Rey, however powerful she might get, is going to be able to defeat Snoke in this movie. That'd be way too soon for something like that. But I'm not expecting her to get her hand chopped off or anything like that. She might get maimed just a little bit. Like when you lose a big fight like this, you usually lose a piece of yourself, either literally in the form of a hand, or you lose a piece of your soul, like you learn something very damaging. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. So it'll be funny to see if they're self-aware about this at all. Like Luke is like, this won't go the way you think it's going to go. Like Rey intends to try and confront Snoke or maybe rescue someone, and Luke is just like, wait a minute, we've already done this. I tried this the first time, it did not go well. I ended up losing my hand. When he takes Anakin's lightsaber too, you actually get an up-close shot in a way that we haven't before. You can see right down the barrel into the emitter. And it's cool to see the accuracy of his mechanical hand. Remember when it got blasted on Jabba's sail barge when he went to rescue Han and Leia? There's actually a score mark here. So if you're worried about them paying attention to continuity, they pay attention to things on that level of detail. This is another Occ 2 set with the Falcon. It looks like they're filming a lot of night shots. There are a lot of new shots of Carrie Fisher that look really great. It looks like she's giving him some advice or telling him some jokes. There's a lot of stories from behind the scenes of the original trilogy with Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher just mercilessly teasing George Lucas on set. But the other really cool thing here too is this cave scene that Luke is in. There's a couple different shots and he's wearing a couple different outfits during this footage. So he has his hermit gear here with this leather outfit, like they're putting the leather glove on him here, but he's in his white Jedi robes when he's sitting down inside this cave. But I think part of the idea is that Rey will inspire him just as much as she's inspired by the great things that he's done in history. And then obviously you have the new Rey gear here too. She almost has 3 different wardrobe changes. There's the first outfit when she gives the lightsaber to Luke. Then there's a slightly different robe. Then you have her full-on Jedi Padawan gear. Even though Luke Skywalker wants the Jedi Order to end, that's kind of what I'm thinking of Rey's costume here. Like, this is what she would be wearing if she were a Jedi Padawan. And it looks very much like Anakin Skywalker. Like, you see him standing here next to Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan wears these very white robes, meant to visually tell you that he's a very good person. Anakin wears very dark colors, just giving you an idea of what's going on in his headspace, how conflicted he is. So I think they're just continuing that idea with Rey, but it's not necessarily confirmation of her identity or where she came from. The way Rian Johnson talks about it in the film, they won't absolutely confirm anything about her origins, but there'll probably be enough clues so that even though the most casual theory crafter will be able to piece something together. And then obviously like the big reveal for episode 9. But the only other really cool shot, it's not in this, but they released a new image. It's of Luke Skywalker in the Jedi library. This is presumably on Occ 2. I don't think that they've traveled to anywhere else. These creatures here are the guardians of the temples. They've been here since it was created. It's the original Jedi temple. That's why Luke came here. But it'll be funny to see if they try to literally throw the book away on the Force. Like, metaphorically, Luke is like, the Jedi Order needs to die. But that doesn't mean that he wants to abandon the use of the Force. It's just they need to find some new practices, some new hidden knowledge. So they're metaphorically throwing the books away on becoming a Jedi. It would be a shame if they literally did that too, because even if you're not going to use those books, it'd be like throwing away a holocron. That's like a precious commodity, even if the information on it is something that you don't need to know or something you already know. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about all this? I'm not expecting another really big trailer until November, but once we get within the 4-week window, that's when you'll start seeing all the promos and the trailers dropping, the way they're doing for Thor Ragnarok right now. So what'll happen is later this week, I have some more Marvel posting. I'll announce the ticket giveaway winner for Star Wars when I post that. While you wait for everything, click here to rewatch all the Star Wars trailers, and you can click here for brand new Flash tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.